Hey everybody, Victoria Mattia here. I hope that you are doing awesome. Perhaps you recall that a couple of days ago on one of our last episodes, I spoke about the need for us as individuals, especially autism mothers, to work on our self care, going on this year-long self care journey. Now, yes, I do understand that it is May. But what if this time next May, next year, you could have a completely different health position? Speaking of specifically self care. So, what does that look like? Really focusing on our four intentional needs, which are movement, moving our body joyfully. How do you like to exercise? Mindset, focusing on different books that can empower you, different thoughts, affirmations, Bible verses that are able to lead and guide your life and can encourage you on a daily basis to be successful in the areas that you're really working on. And then what about nutrition and sleep? So many of us autism parents are really struggling with sleep, but also nutrition because so much of our life can be in survival mode unless we are intentionally making decisions in the moment. And not just in the moment, but intentionally living our life to the fullest, which means we've already decided. We've already decided what we want for breakfast, lunch, and dinner today and throughout the rest of the week. We've already decided what are we going to drink? We're going to drink water, or we're going to drink a seed milk. What are we going to drink? What kind of smoothies do we want to have? Do we want to start making detox smoothies? What do we want to do? And when we think about these things ahead of time and then making the correct decisions in the moment, it can change our life. And there's so many things that can help with sleep. Turning off all of the blue light an hour, at least an hour before bedtime, preferably 2 to 3 hours, but we don't want to push it, especially starting out, but especially at least 1 hour ahead of the time that we need to be in bed. Finishing up, going back to nutrition, finishing up our last meal 3 hours before the time we need to be in bed can help you with sleep. And it can also help so that you don't wake up with those headaches. It can make it difficult. It can make it easier for you to actually go to sleep and stay asleep. There is a lot of science coming out about how the brain detoxes in those deeper realm stages of sleep, which can be really, really helpful as far as how we feel throughout the day, decreasing inflammation. So many things can happen with that. So, we're wanting to really focus on that. And the first thing we want to talk about today is hydration. Something so simple, right? Like simple. Hydration. What does that even mean? Like water? Like what are we hydrating ourselves with? So again, we want to think intentionally. There's new science that's coming out saying how as we age, I am 49, and as we age, we can actually lose the ability to desire to feel hydrated, the desire to need water. You remember when you were a kid and you've been playing outside all day and you come in and you're like, I need to have some water. And your mom's like, go wash your hands first. And then you can come in here and get some water and get some ice and get some water and all the things. A lot of times as we age, we lose the ability to actually have that sensitivity in us to know that we are thirsty for water. We will feel thirst, but we will think it's actually hunger. And so we'll feed that thirst instead of actually giving it the water that we need. And so you may ask yourself, okay, what kind of symptoms would that be? Well, it can it can position itself to be like brain fog for one of the symptoms. Brain fog as we get older, difficulty remembering things. Yeah. Okay. So we've all heard of that, but how many of us have actually put it together with hydration? That new science, you can Google it for yourself. There is science to show that we need to drink water, and the less we do it, the less we'll crave it. That doesn't mean that we don't have a need for it. We just don't recognize that need as needing to be nourished through hydration. And so, what we're wanting to do is to focus on little things that can actually add up to big impact. Imagine. So, imagine as an autism mom, there are these posts, like on a fence, there's these posts, okay? And let's say they are like this amount between each post, okay? And then you have the diagonal part of the post. And imagine the diagonal part, I'm sorry, is no, horizontal. Horizontal part of these posts has to do with your responsibilities, how heavy life is. What are the different things you need to do? Let's talk about it. There could be IEP meetings. There could be taking care of your spouse or other family members, taking care of your family as well as yourself, taking care of taking your child to therapies, taking your child to different doctors, taking yourself to work. All of the financial pressures for the future, what's going to happen as you age and your little ones, they grow up. All of these different things can weigh on us. We may not think about it on a daily basis, but they can weigh on us and it can be really challenging to move forward. And so imagine that these horizontal planks, if you will, or posts, are the pressures of life. And what I have decided and have learned, when you have the more pressure you have on yourself, maybe you're having difficulty with a child. Maybe you're in the middle of detoxing and that's really challenging yourself. Maybe you have all these different other things that I've already discussed, and maybe there's a ton of other things I haven't discussed yet. These are the daily pressures of life. When you are having daily pressures of life that are really heavy, then what you need are your supports. Your four intentional needs different supports to help you to be closer together. So these posts need to be closer together so that they can handle the weight. More posts closer together can handle the weight and the challenges of daily life. We're going to start out with water, focusing on making sure we are drinking at least half our body weight in water. So if you weigh 150 pounds, drinking at least 75 ounces in water. So that is where we're going to start. And we're going to focus on that. That little teeny tiny step can help you lessen brain fog. It can help minimize inflammation in your body. It can help you to have more energy to do the things that you need to do, but also that how you do anything is how you do everything. So that can trickle over to wanting you to encourage you to be interested in movement. Movement is important, but when you don't have the energy or you don't have the wherewithal, you don't feel your best, or you got a lot going on and you'd rather just sit on the couch all day, like that's even possible. But when you do get a moment, you'd rather sit versus go out and do something. That water can help to hydrate your entire body. Remember, our skin is our largest organ. So if we are able to feel better in our body, then it's going to help everybody else, including wanting us to get in movement. If you have more energy, that's going to also help you with meal planning, right? Which will help with nutrition, which will help with meal prep, which will give you more ideas on what to actually prepare. And maybe you'll Google some of your favorite meals and how to make those healthy. Okay, so that's what we're going to start with. We're going to be really intentional about water. Now, how do you make sure you're getting your water? Well, maybe you have a fancy cup that you love to drink it out of. That can encourage you to actually want to drink the water. Maybe you like to put some herbs in your water. You can have a mason jar that you set up overnight filled with water and maybe some fresh mint leaves in it. Maybe you can cut up some lemon wedges and put those in it. Maybe you can think of other herbal teas or even different adaptogens that can help you be more interested in your water. Or maybe just plain old water and add a little bit of ice or no ice, up to you. But we're wanting to really focus on this week. We're ending this week. Today is Thursday. So we're going to be ending it in a couple days. So you can kind of prepare and think about what it is you're wanting to drink so that you can start on Sunday. And maybe you can call a friend and say, "Hey, I'm kind of in a water challenge. What do you think about that? Would you like to join me?" And something this simple can make a huge step in your life when it comes, especially to our four intentional needs and to overall just feeling better. Imagine another analogy. Imagine that there is one of those little child sized pools. Okay. And imagine there's like all those little plastic balls in the little pool. Okay. And then imagine you have little hoses, all these little hoses, but you only filling the pool up a little at a time. A little bit more than a trickle is coming out of each one of these water hoses. Did you know that over time, they will lift up all of the balls to the top? It doesn't matter which one you start with. And the point is, just like in our life, we're starting with hydration, which would be a nourished body, right? Nutrition. Remember, we always talked about the goal for nutrition is to have a nourished body. And when we have a nourished body, that has to do with hydration, it has to do with food, it has to do with feeling good in our body. And the goal is to have a nourished body, but also mindset. The goal is to have a calm mind. You know, water is important to have a calm mind. It's really important for us as well. So just think of it that way. These little water hoses will lift up all of the walls. So just as we are starting with one of the intentional needs, it's going to replenish us in our whole body, or all of our cells will be affected, which will, you know, affect all the other areas of our life that has nothing to do with hydration. When you're showing up with more energy and, you start, your skin starts to look a little more plump or like nourished, with water, meaning not actual plump, but you know what I mean, where, that's what collagen does, helps to bring more hydration to the skin, so makes the skin look good, helps your body to feel good. All of those kinds of things affect one thing, affects the other, which affects the other, which helps us in turn feel amazing. So that's all for today. This small little snippet of a video. I hope that you have an awesome day. Take good care.